Okay, hello everyone. A formal welcome because we're recording this call to all of you from Kolkata, Delhi, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Ghaziabad, Rajasthan, Jaipur, and Chandigarh, and so many other parts of Odisha as well. So this is kind of a training session for trainers because you all will be presenting as well on Earth Day behalf, doing the outreach for Times of India and JSW's Earth Care Award Young Climate Champions Program category. So without any delay, I'll quickly take you to the presentation. There might be some changes that could be done. It is still yet to be approved by Times of India and JSW, but the major framework of the presentation will remain the same. So the very first, this is the 13th edition of Earth Care Awards. It's one of the largest awards of environmental campaigns, environmental technology and innovation in India. It's only open for Indian nationals and it's been done by JSW and Times of India. So over the past 12, there has been many winners, as you can see, 102 winners over the last 12 editions, and this is the 13th one. And for young climate champions, which we are advocating for, it's going to be the second time. So this is the second time it's open for college students. So this first screen that you see, the first page of the slide, it's basically can also be used as a banner, but we will be sending you a specific PDF image as well to use whenever you go to colleges or do an online or offline session or even like a coffee meetup or a discussion with students. As you can see, earthday.org, we are the outreach partner. We'll talk about it more later on. So take it as a presentation that you're doing within the college. That first thing that we are projecting this time is that we're not going to be talking a lot about what is happening to the earth because we see it on the news every day, the pollution, the sewage problem, the water pollution, and then all the landfills, climate change, global warming, ice is melting, all the wars and everything that is happening. So rather than just focusing on the negatives, this time we will be talking about a lot of positives. So to do that, we will add a little bit of slides after that, which you can use, and you can always use your own examples. For this time, we would like to keep it India focused because we are reaching out to college and institutes within India. But there is a fact sheet, a fact bank, how I call it, that I will be sharing with you, in which you can just pull a lot of information. You can tweak it according to, for example, the air pollution scenario might be different in Delhi if compared to Chandigarh or let's say Odisha. So you can always tweak your facts and your figures to present according to the audience that you have. So this is like to showcase people that I'm not here to dwell on doom and gloom because good things are happening. For example, the solar thing that India is achieving here. For example, in Africa, there was an example about the wall, the green wall that is being built, line, the line that they call it. So we're gonna start with like, are you ready? Now, before going to the categories and before talking about how people can apply for the awards, we're going to talk about what exactly this award is. So it's about the GSW Times of India Earth Care Awards, which was introduced in 2008. And you can just pick it up, read a little bit from the presentation, or you can also memorize. In the last 12 edition, there has been almost 4,000 applicants that has applied with their ideas and projects, and only 102 winners has been selected. But that's also like quite a good number if you compare into the like percentage. Now, a lot of confusion always comes up with Earth Care Awards. That's why we have kept this specific slide. When you move to this slide, these are not the categories that college students will be applying to because the college student application itself is a program, is a category. So if you see the last one, the Young Climate Champions program, this is the category where college students, graduate, undergraduate, postgraduate, are eligible to apply. All the other categories, 5 categories, is open to everyone. So just in case if some teachers and faculty members or somebody who is not a college student ask you if can they also apply, so you can always say them that of course you can apply, but in the first 5 categories, because the program that we are going to do in your college is basically focused on the Young Climate Champions program. Why we are doing the Young Climate Champions program? Because across the nation during the college years, all the students come up with so many great ideas. Every day they see the problem and they think about maybe this can be solved with this innovation, maybe this policy can be recommended, maybe this technological AI, robotics things can be implemented. So they always have these ideas, always blooming, brain waves always happening. And we discuss it over lunch. We discuss it when the lecture is boring and we're sitting at the back bench. So this is the opportunity for college students to actually apply those ideas, and they can really make a difference in the world. So that's an opportunity from uh, a lot of great bodies, JSW, Times of India, and Earth Day, and it's free. They don't have to pay. They just have to write their ideas into the form, and who knows if they will be the next winner. So that is how you can also project while you're doing this presentation. Now we come to the category. So these are the six categories. The sixth one is Young Climate Champion Program. And here you see Earth Care, Young Climate Champions Program, empowering youth to lead climate action. So we are focusing more on action. What action-based ideas, what kind of steps or efforts youth can take or make to change the world for better, to move towards green skills, to move towards entrepreneurship, to move towards green jobs, circular economy, because it's also about, we understand that when people in college, they can do a lot of experiments, they have that time. So why don't we use this as the opportunity to do those experiments, to apply? Maybe we get mentorship, maybe we get media recognition somewhere, somehow. When you apply, when you write these things on a form, you get something in return. Now, before we move forward, before we jump to the categories, we would like to formally introduce ourselves as well. So this is the time when all of you can introduce Earth Day as well. And of course, your own organizations, where you belong from, what is your background. For example, Nandini was the last year winner, so she can mention about how she was the winner last year. Although we have mentioned you in the presentation, Satya can mention about his own organization and effort as well. But Earth Day, since we are the outreach partner, we would also like to tell people what Earth Day is. So it's like, I'm sure all of you already know, every 22nd of April, we commemorate Earth Day, which grew out of the very first in 1970s. We're one of the largest environmental movement across the globe. We have more than 1 billion people engaged, 150,000 partners in 192 countries. And you can mention, you can always take people to our website, you can showcase our brochure. All those links will be given to you so that you can engage with people, interact with people, and use it as a toolkit. Now, it's time to put your thinking camp, because till this time we are telling people about JSW Award, Times of India, Earth Day, about how conditions are. Now is the time when they have to put their thinking caps, and when we are mentioning about the categories, they can simultaneously come up with ideas if they have some. Because the whole session is going to look like in three parts basically. The first part is when you go and make the introduction and give this presentation. The second part is where you sit with students and discuss ideas if they have question and answer. And the third part is when you do the follow-up. So the first part is right now. We have this six categories. It starts from the yellow one, which is air quality improvement. So you like go in the clockwise direction. So one by one, we're going to take students through all of these six categories. And this time it has been more clearer, because in the last Earth Care Young Climate Change Champions program, we had this experience that there were some mixed categories. People were confused. Mission Life was a category itself. So this time it's very clear. As you can see, all the elements like air quality. So everything related to air come and pollution comes under this. Biodiversity, ecosystem, clean and renewable energy solution, because it's very big. And our theme this year, Earth Day theme, is also our power, our planet. So it's focused on that. So many people are applying ideas in that category. Fourth one is environmental education and public engagement. So all the civic activities, community activities, and educational comes under this. Fifth one is the best one, which a lot of ideas have been submitted into, and a very vast one, which is waste management, sustainability, and circular economy model. And the fifth one is the second most important element of life, that is water. So anything to have with water. Now, once you explain them briefly that these are the six categories, you're going to take them one by one in those categories. So first category is air quality improvement and pollution control. The sub theme is reducing emissions and enhancing urban and rural air quality. So within these terms, also they can think about how broader the idea can be and which are the areas that they can tap into. So we have some Bad things also mentioned here very briefly what is happening, just to show them a little bit of reality. But exactly after that, we have this in the green, you can see the good things that are happening. So now here, what you can do, you can always use the fact bank. Now I'll let me see if I can share the fact bank with you. Can you see the fact bank for YCC 2.0? Or are you still seeing the old one? Can anybody tell me?
Still seeing the
Presentation is
presentation.
visible.
Still seeing the old one. Okay, let me just do this one. Okay, so this is the kind of the fact bank that we have created for you. It will be mailed to you as well. We'll have your email IDs already. So for example, air quality improvement and pollution control. These are some of the facts that we have, like household air pollution, vehicular emission contribute to 40%. These are some of the government initiatives, and these are some of the city innovations that you can always read, memorize. Then these are some of the questions that you can ask students to interact with. You can give them bookmarks, you can engage activities. So you can always ask with air pollution that, do you know what is PM 2.5 and PM 10? What is the difference between 2.5 and 10? What is PM, like particulate matter? So not just going as a like outreach partner or our contractor from Earth Day to just give this presentation. You're making a real impact by engaging with students. So even if out of those 100 students that are sitting in your sessions, even if only 25 or 30 apply, still those hundreds should remember that they got something from the session. So like you can always tell them about PMS particulate matter, the size of the matter, that is 2.5 and 10 micrometers that you can measure. And like the dust is 10, the vehicular pollution is 2.5. So you can always give these references. So at least they get something out of this session. And they, of course, remember you. And whenever they come up with some solution, they can come back to Earth Care Awards and apply for that. If not this year, next year. So these are what is AQI, which is the cleanest cities. So this is kind of the fact bank that we have, which we will share with you. Now let's move. Now, after each category that we have, like 6 categories, we have mentioned 2 examples at least in all the categories so that they can also know what kind of solutions are we looking for. So the very first example you see here is actually the last year winner in one of the categories, Miss Dwena Rai. What she did, if you read, she basically developed an advanced urban air quality monitoring. What she basically did is combining the data with NASA and CPCB and even the state boards or the American centers and embassies around India collect to use that data and predict the PM 2.5 levels, not just outside, but also inside, using AI, IoT, and other models. Like all these environmental indicators, ASI, CPI, MSI, you can also read that. MSI is basically the moisture, I think SI forgot, moisture strategic indicator, moisture stress indicator. ASI is also similar to that. You can always go and read about these things. It is also in the fact bank because I also don't remember all the things, which you can always tell people. So how, just an idea, how developing a basic platform, open source cloud-based platform, the prediction of air pollution particulate matter 2.5 can be done so that next day, when you are getting out of your home, you know that how bad the air quality of today is going to be. That was her model, and she was one of the winner for doing that. Another example we have is Chakra Innovation, which, and I'm sure you have heard about this one. It's a technical innovation. It is a device that is fit over diesel generators where they capture the soot, the emission, the particular matter, and convert it into ink. So you've heard about this carbon ink, carbon captured ink that is in the market. He is doing that. Chakra Innovation is doing that. So how do you not let that pollution out in the atmosphere and use that, utilize that, and that ink can be used and is being used to print on t-shirts and everything. So that is a kind of the innovation that we are looking at. Next category is biodiversity and ecosystem restoration. Animesh is there. He knows, I think, more than anybody in this call and around the world, I can say. So you can always use, again, you can always talk to Animesh as well. He has so many facts about biodiversity and ecosystem, but you can use because India is one of the leading nations in preserving and conserving the biodiversity and ecosystems as well. As you can see, 93 Ramsar sites we have, which is the largest in Asia. So these kind of the facts, when you lay out in a presentation, it makes you not just you and the teachers knowledgeable, it gives a very good impact on the students. And while you're talking about these things, they come up with ideas because they are listening to what facts you're speaking, and then they can think about, oh, we can also do this, we can also do this. Let me give you two examples. Both are the winners of last year Young Climate Champions program. One is Akhilesh. Akhil, how his real name is Akhil, we call it Akhilesh as well. Akhil Prasad RV, who came up with an idea of an invasive plant Uliflora species in southern India, which is a competitive native species. Now, he was doing these experiments, and you might have also heard this term that plants also compete. They compete with each other to grow more. So, he did some practical experiments out there in the field, and he realized that this invasive plant species, if we plant this, it increases that competition, it converts that competition into a healthy competition using less resources, and it creates a very good ecosystem. All the other species, not just plant species, but all the other biodiversity and ecosystem that is there, it retains water, the quality of water, it increases, or it offers a scalable nature-based solution basically. Similarly, Sneha Shahi, who is a researcher. So Akhil idea was a practical idea into the field. Sneha idea is a research-based idea that she is doing to preserve and rejuvenate resources and ponds. She has worked in Gujarat. Now she is in Chennai in Tamil Nadu, and she is using digital simulations and geoinformation systems to map and do the model restoration for a lot of projects. So she has been working with some governmental models as well. So before you go to a site, you have to do this restoration. So she has devised a model which has made it very easy. So look at the broader aspect of ideas. And first, you saw that there was one related to AI and AOT. The second was a innovation, a device, a technical like a product. One is a model practical forest based, one is a research based. So there's no limit to what kind of idea you can think. It just have to be an idea which is solving a real climate problem, which is solving uh, some problem that is there out in the society related to environment and ecology. Third, if we come clean and renewable energy solution, so much to brag about in terms of India. That's why all the positives here you can see. We are the second largest in solar power. Again, you can go back to the fact bank that we will be giving you to use and also tweak according to your sessions. Here we have mentioned one of the participants from top 15 and one from top 30. The top 15 participant from last year, YCC, he saw already a solution existing. So you see that during when we have solar panels in our rooftop, it always get dusty. But people have a solution for that. People have installed pipes with water sprinklers and air pressure systems. But he saw another problem with that. He saw that people have to switch it on. People have to fill those systems or connect it with something, but they have to do it manually to clean the solar panels. They don't have to go up, but still one step is there. So he created a Sunwipe solar cleaner, a kind of a robotic arm, IoT enabled again a system. The sprinkler and air pressure is same, but he installed a robotic arm which automatically scans the solar panel, and when it realizes, when it like basically checks according to the algorithm that okay, it is getting dirty. How it does that? Because the consumption and the layer is getting heavy, so the absorption of the photons is getting less. So the automatically turns it on and it is connected to the water tank. So that was a already existing solution. He just made it he modified it, made it more easy. So again, a very different idea that can be used. On the other hand, Jitendra Kumar Yadav, also an existing solution. You have seen this that now we can turn on AC before we reach home so that it gets colder. He saw that same thing and say, why don't we make all of our appliances and this all home electrical kind of system smart so that a refrigerator is smart enough to know that when it has to lower its power, when it has to shut down, so that the overconsumption is not happening, and it turns on again so that the nothing is getting like the vegetables are fresh still. So he created this model, an AI powered energy management solution, again using AIT, which predict analytics to optimize energy use within homes. It is not in the market, but it was just an idea that he is still working on. So that level is also acceptable. Next category we have is environmental education and public management, where we also focus, promote, and tell people about Mission Life. Mission Life is lifestyle for environment. You can go onto the website, read more about it, but it's a public movement, pro planet people movement, which is out there in India. Prime Minister has been advocating for it for a very long time, and this is one example, which have thousands of examples within the website for environmental education and civic engagement. Our examples here, one is, of course, the person we have with us right now here also, Nandini Dixit, who launched Ek Ped Shahido Ke Naam. So again, a very different idea. It's not technical, it's not policy based, it's not a product device, but it's still a campaign based idea. So that is also acceptable. And another winner, Thotsat Zingyo, who created a blue carbon community credit model. It's like engaging the whole community, empowering them not just to, let's say, preserve the nature, but also earn out of it. So it's a economy model, like how by preserving the nature, the tribes are also earning out of it. So there is no there is no bubble, or there is no limit to what kind of idea it can be. The only credibility and eligibility of that idea is that it has to solve a real problem, make a already existing solution easy, or present a product or innovation which solves this climate change problem. However, we are focusing more on the technological and innovative product this time, but every idea is still welcome. Second last category, sustainable waste management and circular economy. There are some facts that you can use. As you can see, 12 minutes is the average time that a plastic bag is used. So you can use this. I mean, you don't have to do it like how I am doing, like only speaking. You can always ask questions from public. Let's say if I ask you, do you know the average time of what a poly bag is being used? Do you know how many metric tons or million tons of waste India generate? You can always ask them that, make a guess how many million tons, and maybe you get a right answer. So you know there are people who are reading about this stuff. Or if you don't get the right answer, you're always there to make it right and then aware people about it. Our ideas in this, Kabadiwala Connect, who is also an Earth Day star, he basically created an ecosystem. So, all these Kabadiwalas that are there, it's all very irregularly and there is no system. So he's just realizing that there is a system that can be created and everybody can earn more because of this. Waste is gold. So you'll read more about him, you'll get to know more about it when you read on his website. And another top 15 participant, Jhansi Bhupender, which we have, is another community-based idea, cultural climate nexus, that she has created for indigenous Naga traditional economists. So like, how do you revive the traditional practices which are still valid in this time? So it's like it's basically documenting the old practices which is valid today as well. Very so, as you see, all those examples are very different from each other, and that's why we have laid down these examples very carefully so that people know, students know, that what kind of examples and how many broader spectrum they can be in. Last category, water stewardship and resource management. Rohan Kumar, who came up with an affordable portable sewage treatment plant, and Khyeti, who also got the Earthshot Prize for providing the technological solution. Khyeti was a collaboration of uh, college students and well-established industry people. So that's how we can also show that you can always uh, team up with your faculty members and get the guidance to apply for this award. And maybe your faculty members can apply for the general earth care, and you can apply for the young climate champion category. Now, when we go to the presentation, we share about all these 6 categories. You can come back to this slide and once again remind them that these are the 6 categories. Exactly, this slide is similarly cut and paste from the website, so they will recognize that, okay, they're on the right place. So these are 6 categories that we have. Now, the frequently asked questions that we always have from students: who can apply for the program? So all the students, college students, basically can apply. There is no age barrier, but the person has to be a college student, an undergraduate, a postgraduate student in a recognized university, institute, college, something like education domain, a degree program, a diploma program, a master's program. That is the only eligibility. Now, what kind of solutions can they submit? As we have described all the categories, and I've mentioned it here as also, it could be a sustainability, technology, policy, community based. However, we have mentioned it here also. We motivate people to come up with more technical innovations. So it could be also product technical based. So it could be, let's say, it can multiply. It should be very scalable, feasible, applicable also. It shouldn't be a model like, let's say there are a lot of models which are hypothetical and it's not feasible and applicable right now. So that wouldn't actually make the case, but still they can apply. Do they have to have a team or can apply individually? It's both are possible, either individually or a team of up to five. So two, three, four, five. Now, what's the last date to apply? As of now, we have kept the deadline December 31st, and the national finale will happen in 2026. We might expect extension, but we will still uh, ask you and maybe prefer that you tell people that apply by the year end so that they have a bigger shot to be shortlisted. The timeline given to jury is well enough, and they still have time, and we still have more than 2 months. So when you start doing this presentation, they can always come back to you, ask you, you can guide them how to apply, how it will be evaluated. People always ask, what is the evaluation criteria? How do we know? So the evaluation first is based on the form that they will be filling up, which is the state level evaluation. Then the top entry selected, shortlisted will go to regional jury round, which happens online. They have to make a pitch, and then the final will go to the national finale. What happens if the submission is shortlisted? If the form is shortlisted, they will have to make a pitch of their solution in front of a jury, and in the regional and then in the national finale, they'll be invited to receive the award. What do they receive? Another very big question. There are cash prizes. Last time, a collective prize of 3 lakh was given to, and there were 6 winners in the climate category, in the climate young climate champions category. There is mentorship also from Earth Day. We're always there to mentor. Now we have global shapers people. Satya is there, Nandini is there, Rohit from Chandigarh is there. All of you, Vamsi is there. So you all also become mentors for them because, I mean, climate change is all about collaboration, not competition. So we are the people who are making it right. And they also get media recognition. Of course, all of their names are mentioned in the Times of India, one of the largest newspapers in India. And now, final question. How do they apply? So here is a basic, simple QR code that they can scan. If they're not able to scan, this is the link. And we will also give you, you can always print it out as well. Maybe keep 2, 3, 10 copies with you if somebody is not able to see it on screen, if there is a technical glitch. So you can always, I mean, show it around in the classroom. They can scan it. You can share this with the faculty coordinator so that they can share within the groups. These are the things that I'll be just talking about once we finish the presentation. We also are taking them through this, how it's going to look when they apply for these awards. So when they scan it or when they go to this link, they will see something like this. They will come onto this platform. So they have to make a login, like sign in basically this time. Now, why we have added this step? So that they know they can always track their own application if it has been submitted or if it's still pending. When they sign in, they will come to this page. They click on apply for awards category and they will come to something like this. So they have to apply for the category Young Climate Champions Program. Now, after this, they will see this. So there are two categories in Young Climate also. One is for students and one is for educational institutes. Now, this I haven't told you yet. So students can apply as individual, as a team, but this time, for the very first time, educational institute as an institute can also apply in this category. So if an institute is doing very good, they have fully solarized campus, they are doing a lot of plantation, maybe they have recyclers in their plant. If they think they're doing very good and they want to be considered for this award, they can also apply. So not just students, the institute themselves can also apply. This is one factor also to get these sessions in. Then once they click on students, click on the students portal, they will come up to this form, which is usually like the last year, the basic information about the idea, like title of the solution, which category it comes to, and what is the problem statement, what is the solution of that problem statement. If they have a prototype, images, presentation, videos, they can attach. If they don't have, you don't see a star because it's not mandatory. Then something like a reference, or if they are not able to contact them, then some institution official who endorses the application, so the faculty member, mentor, VC, anybody, and then just click and submit, and congratulations, you have made the entry to Young Climate Champions program. To stay updated, we also share the Earth Care Instagram and Earth Day Asia link tree, so they can know what is happening around. There are online sessions planned, webinars are planned, there are special Q&A sessions planned in January and December, so they can get the information about that. You can always add about your information here if you feel free to do that. This page is somehow not working. Let me reload it. Yes. And in the last, we showcase this page. This is also one of the banner that you can print it out to use in the sessions. You can always add your number when you go to these sessions. My number is here. Vinayak, who is my colleague in Mumbai, he is taking care of the western and the southern part. So if anybody feel any problem while applying, need any guidance, we're always there. They can contact us anytime on WhatsApp or call. And that's it. That's the whole presentation that we have to present in colleges. Now, I'll tell you the structure, how it's going to look. This is I prepared for you, very basic. Don't go on to the design. So first you go, the first step is that you have been contracted with us. So if you haven't sent your list of institution that you would like to reach out, or the areas that are possible for you to reach out, please send it to us. We will create a basic contract for you, as we are providing a basic honorarium to cover your travel cost, your fooding, and like a volunteer basic honorarium, because we know going to these colleges can be hard sometimes. So we are happy to do it. You will be our official partner. You can use our logo in these programs when you're doing the presentation. You can, you get to know more about Earth Day. We become your partners. You are eligible yourself to apply for these awards as well, for like, for example, Satvik Sol Foundation and Global Shapers. So that is the first step, that you make things formal with Earth Day Network India. Monadeep sir, who is here in this call, is the person who will be taking care of all the things. So as soon as you send your college list, we'll create a basic contract for you. You agree to the contract, you sign it, and we formalize that. Then you present to us your plan of travel, get approvals, your dates, flexibility, so that somebody, maybe if I am coming in Odisha, I can plan my travel accordingly. If somebody is coming to Rajasthan, Animesh is going to Uttarakhand, so all those can be planned. That is first step. Second step is you reach out to these colleges and you go and present this very presentation that we have here with us. You present this presentation within 15-20 minutes. I don't think it's going to take more than that. You can keep that. Second is you discuss. So when your presenting is done, you can ask students that if you have any questions, if you have ideas right now in your mind, doubts, if you want to develop on some ideas, you are available in the college. So first 15-20 minutes is your presentation, this one. Then next 15-20 minutes, you can make a circle, you can sit in the classroom. Maybe if selected students you want to do with, or maybe all the students want to do, like a very casual conversation, like a friend, and listen to their ideas, because it's very important, because we're there, we're giving our time to these students. So there's these ideas can be into the market. So you discuss. Now again, of course, it's a JSW Times of India product. It's a platform, and we want to do more outreach. And in this era, nothing is possible without social media. So the third and the most important is you capture those moments. So while you're presenting and while you're discussing, you have to have a volunteer with you. Maybe it is from the college, the classroom, or your teammate who is always capturing your beautiful pictures that you can always post on social media. Something to put for us and you to report into the media reports and the physical and digital reports. So we need good, candid shots with people raising their hands and people sitting in the class. They're looking, not the boring shots, but I mean, they're looking at the board, they're looking at the presentation, they're asking questions. So when you're discussing, they're presenting. So all those photography moments have to be, I mean, we all have to do it. We all do it. It's social media era. So that is there. For the people who have done the presentation last year with us, they'll know it very well. Fourth is the document. Now, let me take you to the document. What exactly are we talking about in the documentation? Now, what happens sometimes we are very enthusiastic and we go with the flow. So we always forgot the basic necessities also. So there is one documentation that in every college we have to get it signed. So like it's very basic information, college name, point of contact, email, mobile number, date of the conducted session, and number of the students attended, with the signature and stamp of the college, university, faculty, anything. That is one documentation part. Another thing that you can do, I will be sharing a QR code with you, which is to basically have students attendance, because we're also going to be providing certificates to all the students who attend the session, like an attendance certificate, like a notification email out. So we will be sharing that QR code with you, which you can print and circulate in the classroom. So let's say if somebody missed out on the presentation, if somebody was not feeling well, they can still have that QR code. We will have their information and we can send all these things, reminders, links to apply through a mail to them. And final is, we've done the presentation, we've done the documentation, we've captured, posted everywhere. Now, if you don't do follow up, people are not going to apply in this awards. And if they don't apply, the whole process of inspiring people to change the world will go in vain. So we need to follow up with the institute. So one part of your contract is also to go to these institutes present, but to follow up and get a minimum number of entries. Because last time one college was also like not applying very well, but then one of the participants actually made into the top 15, and then they were showcasing how happy they are that they finally applied on the very last day. So we don't want to put any institution into that scenario. So you can always follow up with the faculty coordinator, volunteer, VC directors, that if your students have not yet applied and if your institution has not yet applied, please do so that we can also let the jury and the organizers know that they have applied and we can go ahead with the shortlisting. So that's all about the presentation. Now, some other guidelines that we have for all of you. What I mean, mandatory things that we need for you when you go into these sessions. As I've mentioned, that first thing is formalize the contract with us, because we don't want to leave you on verbal. I mean, of course, we work verbally as well. When you reach out to these institutions, as Karuna ma'am has very nicely mentioned, thank you ma'am for reminding me, that there has to be a balance in institution. We're not just looking for top tier or tier two or tier three. It has to be a mix. There has to be IIT, IIMs, IILMs, NITs, IMTs, some in your list. So for example, if you are in Kanpur, Kanpur has an IIT Kanpur. So why don't we tackle Kanpur IIT as well? When you've done with the IIT Kanpur, then you go to other institutions. For example, in Lucknow, there is IIT Lucknow, IIM Lucknow, but there is also Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, who has 800 colleges under the university. Rishabh is laughing because I know Rishabh is from that university. So balance the list. Priority for outreach is, of course, IIT, IIMs, because they come up with technical solution, but also with other institutions that you have a good outreach with and you can get good entries. So formalize the contract, send a list of mixed institutions. Then you go to these institutions within November and within the first week of December, because December end is examination and national, like, winter holidays, and January is not the good time to actually reach out to colleges. Do these sessions, then follow up, ask them to apply for this award. And when they are done, I mean, we then evaluate. During this, a good amount of pictures so that we can share on social media, adding you as a collaborator, of course, your social media will also be part of it. The signed sheet from the college that we have done the session. And during the session, we will send you a banner. It will be good if you can print it out in a cloth or a canvas, not on a flex, and take it with you. If not possible, make sure that the college have the facility of a projector and sound system, because that's very important for the presentation. Without that, it's just going to be a discussion. So those are the things. Now, what I will send to all of you, I will request all of you to please drop down your email IDs. I have it with me, but just to like make sure, because we have new people, Nafisa and Vikram. I'm sure Arshat can coordinate for them, but still, please drop down your email IDs. I will send you the presentation, the banner. the QR code to get the information from students, the signing sheet that has to be done, the photographic guidelines like how these photographs have to be, and the important emails that you have to send your list. I know many of you are still formalizing and discussing it, but this is all that I wanted to do in the session. And now we're open for questions, queries, if you have any. So yes, thank you for dropping down your email IDs. So, Animesh, I'm just briefly, I'll just mention the areas Animesh is going to look for Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh and some of the, let's say, Delhi NCR colleges in his list. He's happy to go to Rajasthan also, he mentioned. Satya and his team, Nafisa and Vikram, are looking at Odisha, so Behrampur, uh, Cuttack, Bhubaneswar, Puri. Uh, Apeksha is in Jaipur, but the Global Shapers is looking at also Jodhpur, Jaipur, Ajmer areas. Rohit is looking at Chandigarh, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh. Rishabh is with me looking at Ghaziabad, Greater Noida, Delhi NCR. And Nandini is looking at Bilaspur, Raipur, and Dantewada in Chhattisgarh. We have more people who are not able to join today. We have Mr. Nadeem ji from Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh area. We have Vinayak taking care of all. We have Vikram. Sorry, we don't have Vamsi right now. He dropped out. He's going to be taking care of South India for us. We have people in Northeast Asia. Our own people from the office, Neela Majumdar is going to taking care of also part of Delhi NCR and West Bengal. Mr. Monadeep personally will be going to Bihar and some parts of West UP. So we have it all covered, but I think we have to act fast because November is the time. In a way, it's best time because no festival in November, just Guru Nanak Parv on 5th of November, which might affect Punjab, but everything else is sorted for November. So if you have any questions, or if Monadeep sir and Karuna ma'am, if you would like to mention something that I have missed.
Well, very nicely done. A couple of things that I would like to add, one is that Chakar Foundation, the Chakar Innovation, I think that is something that we have awarded quite early when they were in their initial stages, I believe, as a rising star. So that is something that we could definitely add if we would like to mention that. Apart from that, in the biodiversity aspect, there are two very important species that Earth Day has been working on for quite a long time. One is the hangul in Kashmir and the Gangetic River dolphins in around Varanasi. So we have been working with our partners to work on this and have been taking care. It has been a community action, be it schools or the community. So if we would like to mention, these are very important species given the Indian scenario. We may want to mention those.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Karuna ma'am, for dropping down. So I'll just briefly tell you all where I will be traveling. So next week I'm covering Delhi NCR, and Neela ma'am is also coming to Delhi to cover in the first week of November. I will be going to Punjab in the second week of November. So Rohit is planning for Chandigarh, Punjab areas. Next week, I'm going to be in Northeast covering Assam and other areas. And then I'm going to be in Odisha covering colleges with Satya. In between, I have some pockets of dates available where I can travel to Delhi NCR colleges like Faridabad, Haryana, Gurgaon. And maybe if we can find a best time with Apeksha U in Jaipur. And the training, of course, we can do this training session once again if you ever feel that you need to know more about it. And uh, at least one session, I can accompany you all so that you see how we are presenting. And I have done this last year as well. And then later on, after that one or two session, you can go on. Even when I get back from, let's say, Odisha, Satya can go on and do continue these sessions. And you all are capable climate leaders in your areas. And if in these dates, I will be sharing my dates and my colleague dates all with all of you. If you feel on those dates, you can do these sessions in those areas when we are visiting. We would most welcome those. And I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining this training call. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, to Office of Regional Director. Our office in India, in Asia office is in Kolkata, but we all work from, it's a work from travel. I can say it's a privilege also. And this is second time Young Climate Champions program is open. So we want to make sure that it's open third time as well. So we receive good entries, because more than just doing outreach for these programs, it's also about making connections, reaching out to these people and adding uh, all those ideas into the real world. And yes, when we are going to do these sessions, we are also inviting influencers, local innovators, local influencing people. For example, last time when I was in Bhopal, we had invited Imtiaz Ali to join one of the session, who is an Earth Day star and influencer, and he is doing work with the municipal corporation. In Mumbai, in one session, Vinayak has invited Malhar Kalambe, who is a national creator awardee by the Prime Minister. He's an influencer on Instagram and YouTube. We had invited many other influencers wherever we do this session, because, I mean, again, it's a social media era, and people, these are influencers called for a reason. So if you know these influencers and you can invite them into your sessions, we can always also talk about if they need travel to do to your sessions, we can arrange for that. If they need, let's say, their refreshments or their travel or basic details, we can do that. We will also glorify them on our social media, on our global platform, and of course on the Times of India and JSW page of Earth Care Award. That is. Thank you, Karuna ma'am, for mentioning the things that I have missed. Uh, and thank you, Monadeep sir, for mentioning that. I will also share the fact bank with all of you. You can use that. So please wait maybe just one day to get all these details, and Monday maybe we can finalize the whole plan for November. And we usually have our meeting in the evening, so I hope that all of us will be able to compile everything by then. Also, I forgot to mention there is one more lady, Meeta Wadhwa, who is doing Madhya Pradesh, and she was with me. She came to Delhi to visit me, and we had done the physical training session with her in the morning already. So once again, thank you so much, all of you, for joining. It's a complete 1 hour of call. Thank you for giving your time on a Saturday. That word makes me happy, because it's all about saving the climate, and if there is no Saturday Sunday. Madesh will do Gujarat. Thank you, Karuna ma'am. I keep on missing these things. A lot of people. So it's good that we have a lot of people that I'm missing the names. So once again, thank you, Rishabh, Satya, Animesh, Nandini, Vikram, Nafiza, Apeksha, and Rohit for joining this call. And thank you so much, Monadeep sir and Karuna ma'am, for being with me. I hope to receive information soon and see you soon in these sessions. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your Sunday. Let's maybe do a call on Monday. Bye bye. Hello, ma'am.